Hello students, welcome back. Today we are going to read a very beautiful poem and the name of the poem is Somebody's Mother, written by Mary Dow Brine. First we need to know about the poet. She was born in 1816 in New York. She was a poet by profession and two of her famous poems are Somebody's Mother, Hearts and Flowers. She died in the year 1913. Now let's begin the poem. The woman was old and ragged and grey and bent with the chill of the winter's day. The street was wet with a recent snow and the woman's feet were aged and slow. She stood at the crossing and waited long, alone, uncared for, amid the throng. First we have the meanings over here. Ragged means torn, tattered. Grey means gloomy, lacking in cheer, or we may also say the grey hair of the lady. Amid, in the middle of. Throng means large crowd of people. So this poem is basically about an old lady who is somebody's mother. The poem shows the pain of a lonely mother. The lady was quite old. She was wearing tattered clothes and her hair had turned grey due to her age. She also looked cheerless, unhappy. Next we come to know it was the winter season and it was chilly outside. The old lady was so frail that she was unable to stand straight in that extreme weather, so she had to bend herself forward. There had been a heavy snowfall and as a result the streets were covered with snow and they appeared white. The lady was walking slowly and carefully due to her age. She had been standing at the crossing for a long time, but no one cared to help her in crossing the road. She was standing all alone among the crowd of people. Now here we have the next lines. Of human beings who passed her by, nor heeded the glance of her anxious eyes, down the street with laughter and shout, glad in the freedom of school let out, came the boys like a flock of sheep, hailing the snow piled white and deep. Heeded means noticed, glance means look, anxious means worried, and hailing means shouting merrily to welcome. Many people were walking down the street, but none paid attention to the old lady standing at the crossing for a long time. She looked worried as she knew that she would not be able to cross the road alone and there was no one around to help her. Not a single person in the street was bothered about her. In the meantime, a group of school boys were seen walking down the street. They were laughing, shouting merrily as it was the end of a long and tiring school day and now they were returning to their homes. They have been compared to a flock of sheep as they were walking in a group as the sheep do. They were elated, which means very happy, to see the street covered with a large amount of snow, which means they gladly welcomed the coldest season of the year. Past the woman so old and grey, hastened the children on their way, nor offered a helping hand to her, so meek, so timid, afraid to stir, lest the carriage wheels or the horses' feet should crowd her down in the slippery street. Hasten means hurried, meek means too quiet and gentle, timid means shy and scared, stir means to move, crowd her down means push into a small space. The boys means the school boys passed the old woman in a great hurry. They did not have time to notice her or offer a helping hand to her. The helpless old lady kept standing there anxiously. She was worried that she would not be able to cross the road alone because it was a busy road and had turned slippery due to the snow. She was so gentle and timid that she couldn't even muster up courage to move from her position, as she feared that either the carriage wheels or the horse's feet would run over her. At last came one of the merry troop, the gayest laddie of all the group. He paused beside her and whispered low, "I'll help you cross if you wish to go." Her aged hand on his strong young arm she placed, and so without hurt or harm. Merry troop means happy group of people. Gayest means happiest. Laddie means lad, a boy or a young man, and pause means to stop. At last came a group of happy young men. Among them, the happiest one noticed the old lady standing at the crossing. So he stopped beside her and whispered in her ears that he would help her cross the road if she wished to go. The old woman agreed at once and placed her aged hand slowly on his strong young arm, and the young man held her hand softly without hurting or causing her any harm. He guided the trembling feet along, proud that his own were firm and strong. Then back again to his friends he went, his young heart happy and well content. She is somebody's mother, boys, you know, for all she is aged and poor and slow. Trembling means shivering, content means satisfied. Here, the trembling feet refers to the feet of the old lady, which were shivering due to her age as well as for the extreme cold weather. He guided her carefully across a busy road. The boy felt proud that his hands and legs were strong enough to help an elderly person cross a busy road without any difficulty. After taking her to the other side of the road, the boy returned back to his friends. His heart was filled with joy and satisfaction after performing such a noble act. He told his friends that the old woman was someone's mother who had become very aged, poor, and slow. And I hope some fellow will lend a hand to help my mother, you understand, if ever she is poor and old and grey, when her own dear boy is far away, and somebody's mother bowed low her head in her home that night, and the prayer she said was, "God, be kind to the noble boy who is somebody's son and pride and joy." Fellow here means a person, lend a hand means to help or assist someone, bowed means to bend for prayer. The boy father explained to his friends that his mother would grow old someday and she might also be in this kind of situation in future. He had helped the old lady, hoping that someday some person would help his mother when he might be far away from her. And what the old lady did that night? She bowed her head and prayed to God to be kind to the noble boy who had helped her cross the road. She referred to him as somebody's son, who was indeed the pride and joy of his parents, which means his parents must have been very proud of their son for his kind and helping nature. So, what message do we get from this poem? The poem conveys the message that we should be selfless and kind towards others. We should be compassionate towards the old, poor, and needy. We must never hesitate to lend a helping hand to the ones who are in need. In this poem, we see that a young boy helps the old lady with a hope that someday, when his mother will grow old, someone will be there to help her in his absence. So, here I come to the end of this poem. Hope you all have understood. Thanks for watching.